Hi, here I am, and this is my little Clemmy bear. This is my little puppy dog. Look how sweet he is. He's so cute. He's been running around having the zoomies recently, just now actually. So I thought I'd pick him up here and just introduce him to you all. He's not going to do any reading, but he's going to be listening in a minute. I'm sure he's going to go straight to sleep as soon as I put him down. He usually just goes and sleeps right by my little legs, in between my legs if I'm at my desk, which is really sweet. Anyway, here he is. Look, he's so tired. Ooh, he's so tired. I'm going to put him down now. But I thought we would just say hello. Hello, hello, hello. Here he is. Little cute boy. He's like a teddy bear. Ooh. Right, I'm going to put him down. Off you go. Off you go. Go and have a little sleep. There you go. Whoopsie. Right, here we are. I'm back. How are you? I hope you're having a lovely Saturday so far, a lovely day, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world. I have been really interested, not really interested, but really excited by this second-hand bookshop, which you can just buy books online. And I bought this book, Women Poets, because I think there are far too few women in poetry books these days. And I think that we need to actually focus on what they're saying. So I got this book so that we can talk about it, and I can read it and go through some of the poetry with you. Now, one of my favourite poems, sorry, that's my postman's just coming to my door. Typically, as soon as I go live, I get the postman. One of my favourite poems, and one of my favourite poets, is an Iranian poet, a female poet called Forugh Farrokhzad. And she was born in 1934, and she died very tragically in a car accident in 1967. And she was an amazing female poet. And the thing that I really like about her, what I love about her work, is that she was so ahead of her time. And actually, she really kind of riled the Muslim clerics and people in Iran when she was alive and working, because she was a very modern woman. She had a child when she married at 17. I think she married her neighbour, actually, when she was 17, a much older chap. And she had this child when she was 17, and then I think 3 years later they separated. And she just wrote, I think she wrote about 3 or 4 volumes of poetry when she was alive. And if you ever get a chance to have a look at her work, it is phenomenal. I heard some readings, not in Farsi, but by, there he is, he's going back again, the postman. In Farsi, not in Farsi, in English, by an Iranian woman on the radio. And I was so captivated. I remember I was driving along the embankment in London by the River Thames, and I was so captivated by this poetry. I was just mesmerised. So I ordered a couple of books of hers and gave them to my half Iranian children, because my children are half Iranian. But, so I don't have a copy, so I must get some actually. But this is, this is one of her poems. But actually she had this tragic car accident when she died when she was 32. But before that, she went and lived in a leper colony, and she actually, I think she adopted one of the children from there as well. I mean, she was quite a forward-thinking, amazing, inspirational woman. So here we go. This is called Born Again. One dark word is all I am, uttering you again and again until you wake where you blossom forever. In this word I breathed, and in this word bound you to trees, water, flame. Life may be a street she walks down every long day, a basket in her hand. Life may be the rope over the limb he hangs himself with. Life may be a child home from school. Life may be lighting a cigarette in the languid pause of lovemaking, or the pedestrian's void gaze as he tips his hat to another's void smile, saying, "Good morning." Life may be that sealed moment when my gaze disintegrates in the lens of your eyes, and I know myself sensing the moon in me, and joined to darkness in a room measured by solitude, my heart measured by love, finds ordinary excuses for its happiness, and lovely laps of flowers vased and sapling you set in our yard, the canaries, cantilena. Their singing fills the window. Ah, this has fallen to me, this has fallen to me, this to me. A sky, a curtain shrouds, the descent of a broken stair, marriage to exile and rot, my lot pacing in the sad gardens of memory. Dying, sorrowing, a voice saying to me, I love your hands. In the garden I plant my hands. I know I shall grow. I know. Swallows will lay their eggs in the nest of my ink-stained fingers. Twin pairs of bright cherries will be my earrings, and dahlia petals dress my fingernails. There's a certain lane where boys with the same tousled hair, thin necks and scrawny legs who loved me once still recall the simple smile of a girl swept away one night by the wind. A certain lane my heart stole from my childhood's quarter. A body wanders time's arid trajectory. If only that body could make that barren path conceive it. A body conscious of an image emerging from the festal mirror. And that's how one dies, how one lingers on. No diver will ever fetch a pearl from the well a booklet drowns in. I know a sad little nymph who lives in the sea and plays the wooden flute of her heart tenderly, tenderly, sad little nymph, dying at night of a kiss, and by a kiss reborn each day. I think that's utterly beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. I'm going to read it again. It's called Born Again by Forugh Farrokhzad. One dark word is all I am, uttering you again and again until you wake where you'll blossom forever. In this word I breathed you, and in this word bound you to trees, water, flame. Life may be a street she walks down every long day, a basket in her hand. Life may be the rope over the limb he hangs himself with. Life may be a child home from school. Life may be lighting a cigarette in the languid pause of lovemaking. Or the pedestrian's void gaze as he tips his hat to another's void smile saying, good morning. Life may be that sealed moment when my gaze disintegrates in the lens of your eyes, and I know myself sensing the moon in me, and joined to darkness in a room measured by solitude, my heart measured by love. Finds ordinary excuses for its happiness and lovely laps of flowers vase the sapling you set in our yard. The canaries cantilena, their singing fills the window. Ah, this has fallen to me. This has fallen to me. This to me, a sky a curtain shrouds, the descent of a broken stair, marriage to exile and rot, my lot pacing the sad gardens of memory, dying, sorrowing, a voice saying to me, I love your hands. In the garden I plant my hands. I know I shall grow. I know. Swallows will lay their eggs in the nest of my ink-stained fingers. Twin pairs of bright cherries will be my earrings, and dahlia petals dress my fingernails. There's a certain lane where boys with the same tousled hair, thin necks and scrawny legs who loved me once still recall the simple smile of a girl swept away one night by the wind. A certain lane my heart stole from my childhood's quarter. A body wanders time's arid trajectory. If only that body could make that barren path conceive it. A body conscious of an image, emerging from the festal mirror, and that's how one dies, how one lingers on. No diver will ever fetch a pearl from the well of a brooklet drowns in. I know a sad little nymph who lives in the sea and plays the wooden flute of her heart tenderly, tenderly. Sad little nymph, dying at night of a kiss, and by a kiss reborn each day. It's a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poem. And honestly, her work is really, really worth looking up. It is amazing. Really, really beautiful. And very, very, very interesting. Right, let's have a look at what else I'm going to read. Oh, a poem. Should we read something from Argentina? We've been to Iran, so that was a Persian poet. This is a woman I've never heard of. You may have heard of her. Alfonsina Storni. She was born in 1892 and died in 1938 from Argentina. She had Swiss parents and lived in San Juan and Santa Fe. She went to Buenos Aires and she got very ill and died in 1938 incurably. Oh, she drowned herself in the waters of the Mar del Plata. Oh, Men in the city. The woods of the horizon are on fire, eluding flames, the swift blue bucks of twilight cross. Little golden goats migrate towards the vault. The recline on the blue moss below. The city rises up, a cement rose motionless on its stem of dark cellars. Its black pistils, towers, cupolas emerge, waiting for lunar pollen, suffocated by the flames of the fire and lost among the petals of the rose, almost invisible, crossing back and forth, the men. The city men. Let's have a look and let's just see what we're going to read next. Who are we going to read next? Shall we read let's read a Mexican poet. So Rosario Castellanos, born in Chiapas, she graduated from philosophy from the University of Mexico. And she began writing at the age of 15 in 1940, had her first publication printed in 1948, so she's doing pretty well. Right, here we go. She's regarded as a prose writer and critic, apparently. Silence concerning an ancient stone. Here I am, seated with all my words like a basket of green fruit intact. The fragments of 1,000 destroyed ancient gods seek and draw near each other in my blood. They long to rebuild their statue from the shattered mouths, and a song strives to rise to my mouth, a scent of burned resins, some gesture of mysterious wrought stone. But I am oblivion, treason, the shell that didn't keep from the sea, even the echo of the smallest wave. I look not at the submerged temples, but only at the trees that above the ruins move their vast shadow with acid teeth bite, the wind as it passes, and the seals close under my eyes like the flower under the searching fingers of a blind man. But I know behind my body another body crouches, and round about me many breaths furtively cross like nocturnal beasts in the jungle. I know somewhere, like the cactus in the desert, a constellated heart of spines, it is waiting for a name, as the cactus, the rain. But I know only a few words, as the lapidary language under which they buried my ancestor alive. Interesting. Interesting. Right. Let's see if we can find something interesting. Oh, let's have a look at this. This is from Anne Broad. Oh no, that's going to be very old. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more contemporary. I think we have to go this way. I thought maybe it was all done in countries, but obviously it's done in time. Okay, here we go. Edna St. Vincent Millay. She was obviously American, born in 1892, died in 1950. She was very popular during her lifetime. Wild swans. I looked in my heart while the wild swans went over. And what did I see I hadn't seen before? Only a question less or a question more. Nothing to match the flight of wild birds flying, tiresome heart, forever living and dying. House without air. I leave you and lock your door. Wild swans come over the town again, trailing your legs and crying. They've only got one of her poems. I suppose there's absolutely loads of female poets. But how come we never really get to see them in the books? Hopefully there's going to be more of them these days. So this is another person from the US, Muriel Rukeyser. Sorry, she was born in 1913. I'm sure that she's still not alive. Reading time, 1 minute 23 seconds. The fear of poetry is the fear, mystery and fury of a midnight street, of windows whose low voluptuous voice issues, and after that there is no peace. That round waiting moment in the theatre, curtain rises, dies into the ceiling, and here is played the scene with the mother bandaging a revealed son's head. The bandage is torn off, curtain goes down, and here is the moment of proof. That climax, when the brain acknowledges the world, all values extended into the blood awake, moment of proof, and as they say Brancusi did, building his bird, to extend through soaring air as Kafka plans stories that draw to eternity through time extended, and the climax strikes. Love touches so that months after the look of the blue stare of love, the footbeat on the heart is translated into the pure cry of birds. Following air cries or poems, the new scene, moment of proof that strikes long after act. They fear it. They turn away, hand up, palm out, fending off moment of proof, the straight look poem, the prolonged wound consciousness after the bullet's shot, the prolonged love after the look is dead, the yellow joy after the song of the sun. Interesting. Let's see. Shall we do an Anne Sexton film? What am I talking about? An Anne Sexton poem. So Anne Sexton was from Massachusetts. She was born in 1927, died in 1974. She was a scholar. She won the Pulitzer Prize, and she was known for her kind of sharp wit. The truth the dead know. For my mother, born March 1902, died March 1959, and my father, born February 1900, died June 1959. Gone, I say, the walk from church, refusing the stiff procession to the grave, letting the dead ride alone in the hearse. It is June, I am tired of being brave. Oh, sorry. We drive to the Cape. I cultivate myself where the sun gutters from the sky, where the sea swings in like an iron gate, and we touch, in another country people die. My darling, the wind falls in like stones from the white-hearted water, and when we touch, we touch it entirely. No one's alone. Men kill for this, or for as much. And what of the dead? They lie without shoes in their stone boats. They're more like stone than the sea would be if it stopped. They refuse to be blessed, throat, eye and knucklebone. There we go. I'm not going to read Sylvia Plath because that can be a little bit depressing. Let's have a look. Who shall we read now? Let's see. I don't know this person, Stevie Smith. She was a prolific poet, apparently. She expresses an oblique vision with a deceptively whimsical style. That's what she's known for. The River God. The river god of the river Minram in Herefordshire. I may be smelly and I may be old, rough in my pebbles, reedy in my pools, but where my fish float by I bless their swimming, and I like the people to bathe in me, especially women. But I can drown the fools who bathe too close to the weir, contrary to rules, and they take a long time drowning as I throw them up now and then in a spirit of clowning. Hi-yi, yippity-yah, merrily I flow. Or I may be an old foul river, but I have plenty of go. Once there was a lady who was too bold. She bathed in me by the tall black cliff where the water runs cold. So I brought her down here to be my beautiful dear. Oh, will she stay with me? Will she stay, this beautiful lady, or will she go away? She lies in my beautiful deep riverbed, with many a weed to hold her, and many a waving weed. Oh, who would guess what a beautiful white face lies there, waiting for me to smooth and wash away the fear she looks at me with. Hi-yi, do not let her go. There is no one on earth who doesn't forget her now. They say I'm foolish old smelly river, but they do not know of my wide original bed, where the lady waits with her golden sleepy head. If she wishes to go, I will not forgive her. Ooh, it's not very nice, is it? Oh, I don't think I like that river, thank you very much. Let's have a look. There's an Australian poet here. Let's read one from Australia. Judith Wright. She was from New South Wales and she's the 5th generation of descendant settlers. She published her book of collected poems in 1972. This is called Woman to Child. You who were darkness warmed my flesh, where out of darkness rose the seed. Then all a world I made in me, all the world you hear and see hung upon my dreaming blood. There moved the multitudinous stars, and coloured birds and fishes moved. There swam the sliding continents, all time lay rolled in me, and sense and love that knew not its beloved. O node and focus of the world, I hold you deep within that well. You shall escape and not escape, the mirrors still your sleeping shape, that nurtures still the crescent cell. I wither, and you break from me, yet thou you dance in living light. I am the earth, I am the root, I am the stem that fed the fruit, the link that joins you to the night. Oh, I think that's quite lovely. There we go. Well, there's a little bit of a dose of poetry for you on a kind of slightly chilly, cloudy day. I hope you enjoyed that. I actually think it's really important that we represent our female poets. So this is women poets. And I bought it secondhand from a secondhand bookshop. And it's quite old, and it's obviously been well used and well read. And I shall hopefully do the same as well. So what are you going to be up to today? I'm going to be finishing soon, I think, with work. Maybe I'll pop back and do a little bit later. I'm going to light the fire because my heating's being fixed. Well, it's not my heating. I've got a big leak in my kitchen, which means half my heating's working and half of it isn't, which isn't much fun, I have to say. And that's about it. I've got my son coming. We've got the little puppy here. We'll do a bit of gardening probably tomorrow, and that's going to be my weekend, really. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend too. And let me just have a look and see if there are any comments here from anybody, just to see what you're up to. Let's have a little look. I like to look on my phone because I find it much easier than looking on the actual laptop, because it all gets a bit confusing to me. Right, so we've got Earnshaw. People watching, that's nice to see you, thank you very much. Jane says, I enjoyed that, thank you Jane, lots of love to you. Maeve says, how to follow Iran, didn't catch poet's name, so beautiful. I will put that at the top once I finish. I will tell you who she is. Forugh Farrokhzad. It's an interesting spelling, so I'll put that in the thing at the top. Oh yes, and Maeve says, Clemmy Bear. Clemmy Bear is listening. He's right down there by my feet where I knew he would be, where it's warm. He dragged his blanket from his bed, which is right next to me on that side, dragged it underneath my chair, and he snuggled up with it underneath my feet over there, well, my foot over there. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I don't know why I didn't just sleep in his nice comfortable bed, which I've got him, be much warmer. So Michael says he must go, but this is a lovely start to the morning. Michael, you've probably gone already. Goodbye. Hello and goodbye. Jane says the last poem was beautiful. Thank you. Dorothy's watching, and Nettie's watching, Gina's watching, Christine's watching, Deb's watching, Patricia is watching. Jane says she's been cooking all morning and just sat down to listen to me read, and it's very restful. Julian and Andy are watching as well. That's really kind. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I do love a bit of poetry, and I do think that it's not very well, you don't get to hear it very much, do you? It's very difficult, it's not often that you hear it, and I think that it's a lovely way to start the day or end the day, and I think it's nice actually to be read to as well. I think that's a sort of special treat, really. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will put the name of the Iranian poet in the comments. I'm going to definitely order her book. Well, there's 4 books. I'm going to order them all because I think it's really interesting. So she died in the mid-60s. So she was really, really way before her time, actually writing about things like sex and emotions from emotional relationships from a female point of view in Iran. I mean, I know that it was prior to the revolution, so the Shah was there, but it was still quite a remarkably modern way to express yourself, and to sort of stand up and be counted for it as well was very, very bold, very brave. So my hat goes off to her. Well done. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I shall look forward to speaking to you soon. Hopefully I'll do another live broadcast tomorrow. And don't forget, you can catch me on my YouTube channel as well. So I hope that you've subscribed, because I really appreciate that, and it's free. So lots and lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.